SWMLS Minimum Photos Policy Information.
Hey everyone, Richard Gibbons here, MLS Director for Southwest MLS, and in this video I'm going to cover the Minimum Photos Policy update that goes into effect on August 1st. So this is the new Minimum Photos Policy. This policy is intended to raise the floor on the quality of our MLS data and includes some pretty neat industry firsts with technology. Before we get into the nerdy stuff, let's talk about the rule itself. Simply put, every listing will be required to have, at minimum, a photo of the living room, kitchen, each bathroom, exterior photo, and the backyard. Note that there should be at least one photo of each bathroom. So if it is a one-bathroom home, there are 5 required photos. If there is a 2-bathroom home, there are 6 required photos, etc. Now, this rule does apply to all statuses, including sold. So under this rule, you cannot remove all of your photos after the listing is sold. I'll address seller privacy in a moment. It does currently only apply to the residential property type and only when the build description equal is resale. So it does not apply to new or under construction homes. Also, there are exceptions in place if the property is tenant occupied or unsafe, and thus is difficult or impossible to obtain photos. As I said before, we are industry first with a rule like this, so do expect minor tweaks to the rule over time as we see how it ends up working in the real world after it's launched. Now, this is not a reactive-only rule. Our compliance system, Data Checker, will be proactively checking every listing in the MLS using artificial intelligence from a company called Respi.ai. This is a computer vision software that can look at a photo and tell Data Checker what it is a photo of. Here are 4 examples showing front of house, kitchen, living room, and bathroom. No other MLS in the country is utilizing AI technology in this manner. Your Southwest MLS Board of Directors, Committee, and staff are leading this charge. Okay, so I promised to talk about seller privacy. One of the reasons for this rule's creation was to prevent members from deleting all of the photos off of a listing when a movie was sold. The problem with this practice is that it makes a listing completely useless for the creation of CMAs, BPOs, or appraisals by our members. If 2 homes are next door to each other and one sells for $50,000 more, but you can't see any of the photos, how are you supposed to tell what caused that difference? Swimless members need to be able to see upgrades, finishes, fixtures, and features that can only be seen in photos. The 5 items chosen for the minimum by the policy committee and the board of directors were based on the photos that would be most likely to show these items, while also keeping the number of photos to a minimum so that you can't see the entire layout of the home. In fact, only 3 of the requirements are of the interior of the home at all. Additionally, based on our IDX rules and agreements, the majority of websites already automatically take down photos once a home is sold. This is my home, purchased in April of last year, pulled up on Zillow, HomeSnap, Homes.com, and Trulia. The listing agent did not remove any photos from the listing, and neither her nor I did anything to contact any of these companies and ask them to take the photos down. As you can see, the only photo available is the Google Street View. The one exception to this is Realtor.com, and either the listing agent or the consumer can contact them directly to have photos removed. However, there is additional options out there built into Flex for you. If for some reason the seller does not want their photos syndicated across the internet while the listing is active, you can use the Mark Private option. This will allow all the photos to exist in the MLS so you can meet the rules, but will prevent them from going out to internet websites. So in a situation like this, you could have all 5 of your minimum photos, but mark all of them except the front of the house as private, and then only the front of the house would go out to your internet website. So if there's a safety issue or something like that, that's an option you can use. Note that if you do want to do this, we recommend marking them as private before the listing goes live, because once the photos are sent out, you may have to contact the websites individually to ask them to be removed. Another option you can use is the Mark Private While Off Market feature. If you enact that feature at any time, even while the home is active, once the property moves to an off-market status, it'll automatically remove the photos from the data feed and prompt any website using the photos to take them down, including Again, this still keeps the photos available for members within the MLS. Finally, it may also be a good reminder to your seller that everyone who has access to MLS data is either licensed in the state of New Mexico, which includes background checks and fingerprinting, or is under the supervision of someone who is. And finally, remind your sellers that on their listing agreement, they authorize that you as the broker are required to adhere to all MLS rules and regulations. So you may not remove the required photos. As mentioned previously, only 3 of the requirements will be of the interior of the home, as we try to balance respecting privacy and keeping useful data in the MLS. And then even then, those 3 photos, the kitchen, the bathroom, and the living room, especially the kitchen and bathroom, can generally be taken in such a way where you're looking at a corner and you're showing off the fixtures and your countertops and features without showing the layout of the home. So it's really not a very big ask here. So, of course, if you guys have any questions about this, this is a big change. We recognize that. Please give us a call or email us down here at the bottom, support@swarmless.com or 505-843-8833. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And as I said, this is a new rule, first in the industry for it. There is no best practices to go by. So there's going to be situations that are going to come up. We recognize that, and this rule may be tweaked over time. So give us your suggestions. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think, and let's all raise the floor of our MLS data together. Thank you, everybody.